Minutes away from that 8 a.m. mark. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. My name is Kamene.
Jalas.
In studio with us, of course, legend porn legend. This guy is the one who opened the door to what music was in Kenya. And you're still here very many years down the line.
I'm 20.
How old are you?
20 years.
How old are you though?
I'm ageless.
We achana na hizo nini answers za madem.
Nameless.
So hana jina, hana umri,
Ana nini?
nothing.
We kila kitu uliza unaongeza tu less hapo mwisho.
Less.
Ageless. Nameless.
Homeless.
Wajilete shida tu peke yako, baby. You're by yourself. Anyway, we're talking about that epic moment in life. Yani maisha imekusunda kwa kona and things are thick and you're like, you know what? I'm either going to eat or be eaten. Na unasema, you know what? Kaende. Mi skulu na kitu. And you have to make a very, very hard decision. But you're just like, you know what? Whatever
Whatever the case.
What was your epic, whatever moment?
Well, okay. There have been different moments, but what I'd say is for me, I remember when I got into the industry, right? As nameless. I was also faceless, right? And why I say faceless, I didn't want people to know who I am because I'm like, the brand was growing, but I was truly careless, truly, below took.
Things were thick.
Things were thick.
So you just wanted maybe hata ukiingia kwa mat. Bado watu hawajui.
Si ndio? So nilikuwa na kipio kwa nasema, sasa brand na grow. Lakini kakitu hamna. So I always remember like one moment, I don't know which I just before I'd finished campus. And I make a decision like, do I do this or do I cut it? Like just stop the pressure because you're feeling this pressure is growing. Alafu kuna mtu aliweka tu picha yangu. The press were really looking for my picture. Like, how is this guy going to remain faceless? Akakeka picture. So now everyone all of a sudden knows. You ni nameless. Even Kamfokas are like,
ni wewe.
Buda ni wewe. So now inabidi sasa unaingia mat tu hivi live tu hivi na watu.
So then could do that, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, mimi nameless. Jina kubwa lakini kakitu hamna.
Napanda 2 or 3 na wewe.
Tunapanda tu. Tunaenda gig pamoja. Mimi ndio na perform lakini ni sawa tu. And it was like, for me, I think that moment helped me separate being in the public and just living a real life. It helped that thing where you try and stop feeling the pressure of people. Because people will always give you pressure in the public, They want you to be in a certain way. They want you to live in a certain way. They want you to chill in a certain way. Like that. And you're like, I was like, at that point, I was questioning myself. And I'm like, if I do that, then I'll have to live other people's lives.
And not your life.
And not my life. So I separated it. And I don't put things in a place that I know. So when I choose to live because it makes sense for me. Someone else will come and say, hey, you should live in this place. You should drive this. You should do this. I'm like, nah, me, I know where I am, I know what's going on. And I think that for me was a flip moment, of, okay, you just do you and do what you love doing, but at the same time, don't feel the pressure of the public because it's there. And I know it always is there,
I mean, it'll choke now. I quit that game. I was like, but I'm trying stress.
Yeah, man. So it just moved with it.
But I like what he said, that it was at that moment, that epiphany where he was like, you know what, it is what it is. This is my life. Hata kama jina ni kubwa, my reality is, bado tu nitapanda ma 3. Jana, Jalas was telling me how all his cars are in the garage and whatnot, and we're supposed to hang out, but I had some family obligation. So I was like, hey, maze bro, wache nikimbie. I can't take you to the office, wache nikimbie. He's like, samani sawa, hamna shida, babe. I'm like, you'll be cool. He's like, hata mimi naweza toka hapa nje tu nipande ma 3. I was like, what? And he was like,
nikichukua mat jana. She did not believe.
Ulipanda?
Yeah.
Got her. Let me tell you why. That's so cool because even for me there are times I'll walk around. Yani kwanza home. I'm all around home. You just live. You can't say no, I'm nameless. How? You can't live your life, man. You panda number 3.
Mi upanda.
I was like,
so I was telling Kamene was surprised. Nikamwambia nitachukua Starbucks hapa. Inaende tao alafu sasa ni
They're saying it's so natural.
alafu nichukue 23 za kile.
Yeah.
Nikamwambia bro.
Lakini hata Uber Buddha.
Sasa Uber
Buddha.
Jalas Uber chukua lakini so
but you wanted to feel the
kuka hapo nikingoja na kula mat kwa barabara. I can angalia watu.
No, hapo unajua mimi niko nafikiria labda Uber.
Buddha.
Uber, the thing that I find funny.
This was yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. The thing I find funny. This is the time I did that. I reached a point I was like, and I remember when I was staying in South Beach. I'm like, nini. That time okay Dakana, but I'm like, nataka kufika tu hapa.
Si chukue tu mat na
nini.
nini.
Sasa mat. Back in the guys are like, look at it. Like, nameless.
Like for real?
Believe, yeah. But me, I'm just like, man, I just don't want to feel the pressure. I want to enter this mat. I want to reach there. But nowadays, Uber. Sometimes I don't feel like driving.
Nini unataka tu
sina driver ka Jalas.
Kwenda so, mimi sijawahi kwa radio.
Sometimes na chuko Uber paka Uberia na ni check design ya.
So nameless.
So but at the end of it lazima Buddha any nameless. Sema tu kweli. Sema David Mavendi mechua. Then I'm like so good and it makes me feel
I always like how Uber drivers sometimes uko ndani ya Uber ama taxi fa unastukia tu amese so ana drive anaangalia pale kwa nimebeba nani.
I'm sorry, I don't relate to your struggles.
Oh yeah, you yeah, skills are the struggles too. Utazielewa siku moja.
Huyo ni nani? Then kaboom. Maybe simu inaingia. Alafu nani Uber. Pack. Jalas. But it gets to that point. It gets to that point in life where you have to decide, you know what, this is the direction I'm taking. But one thing I've always wanted you to tell me is at what point did you just say, you know what, hizi makaratasi na maak nani kuchora nini
isi kitu yangu
weka kando. I know you still do it.
I do it on the side, yeah. But the funny thing is I was just telling Kamene just before we got on air that it was a transition for me. I was lucky my payrolls we negotiated. Tuka negotiate. Kaniambia as long as grades zako ziko sawa, endelea. So I started growing as a brand. But at the same time school na make sure yani hapo nashikilia. Then I finished campus. I always remember I moved to SQ in South B. And I sat there and I'm like, dude, you love doing this stuff. Like you love it. And you're earning and you can start growing with it. Yeah. I just made that decision to say, I'm a musician. Like I love it. You know, initially I was doing it to pay my fees.
Yeah.
To, you know, kucheza. Then I'm like, when I was finishing my 6th year, was when Ninanoki was hitting. And that song was big.
Huge.
So balancing campus 6th year with Ninanoki. I mean, with that hype.
The gig and the gigs coming.
Unaitwa gig important paka ogopa na niambia skiza bro.
Client
amesema kama nameless hayuko biashara na miss. Yet my main exam is on Monday. So unajaribu kusema sasa your lectures watakuona uko rugby RF badala ya kufanya you get your work. But when I finished campus and I was there and I moved and I looked and said, listen, I'm earning and you love doing this thing. This can actually be a career.
It can make sense.
Because before we didn't really have people you can look and say it's a career. You look at it from out there.
Yeah.
Like here, kakitu. So that decision of saying, let me just go with this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that point when I finished campus. You get my point? So initially I was in campus. I'm still in campus. So I'm still debating. Am I an architect? Am I a musician? Buddha nika realize, Buddha when ni musician ambaye uli study architecture. So kubali. This is your life. Like, I entered it, honestly speaking, and I'll be real, I didn't enter it knowing. I entered it because it's a passion. I like it. It's a vibe. I'm doing architecture, but I'm doing it and I'm like, Buddha, si unajua enjoy hii kitu. Haya, ukicheza hii kitu unaweza earn. Haya, ukicheza hii kitu, haya, Buddha.
Before you know it,
Buddha nanunua gari. Hiyo niliponunua gari ilikuwa big news inogopa.
I want you to keep it locked right here on the hashtag Kamene and Jalas. This guy is here with us, clearly full of so many stories.
Wow.
When the industry was not even an industry. To which we're going to pick up something that's happening in the industry. I've seen a new hashtag and I'm just like, miss me with this nonsense. for that. Right here in studio, my name is Kamene.
Mzee Jalas wenyewe.
Nameless ndani ya nyumba.
Unajua ukitaka kudanganya or you want to make a point that maybe you are of an opinion that is really not popular and is an opinion that is going against what everybody is doing. Machines like this also deny your
Tuheshimiane. Tuheshimiane.
To explain.
I'll put off your microphone. Nitakuzimia mic.
Okay.
Cheza na mimi. Aya, so
anytime you see Nameless and I on this side, put a bit of respect. Put a bit of respect. Because we are just not at hanging out with you here.
Guy.
You also your big brothers, eh? So young girl.
What?
Most of the time.
Young girl.
Bring your voice down.
Young girl.
Ooh, sir. All right. Explain.
Wacha tuingize akili kwa show sasa. Now that we're done with that small commercial break. So, ma DJ wakasema #save our restaurants.
Alright.
Maze nikaona DJ Styles na hiyo poster kina exclusive kina who kila mtu anasema #save our restaurants. Nikasema ala, when there's something happening to the restaurants in Kenya. You know, last I checked, restaurants are still operating, you know. So what are you guys talking about #save our restaurants? It's some of you guys are being you're not being sincere. Let's say it that way. You're not being sincere. There's no problem with restaurants operating in Kenya. Your industry is something totally different, please. Ma DJ, ma bouncer, ma waiters, nini, the people who are suffering right now, please know, you are not restaurants. That's another sector. Restaurants are fine. Jana, Caroline Mutoko was telling us how she went to I don't know what restaurant is still operating. The Phoenician is still operating. Java is still operating. At Cafe is not in need of any saving. Paka wanatoa do sasa. Restaurants are fine. No. Nisikize.
No.
DJs don't play in restaurants. Okay? DJs, you guys don't work in restaurants. Restaurants don't have bouncers. Tapa Cielo in Mombasa.
Are they saying restaurants or ban restaurants?
Save our restaurants. So my problem is, you know, when Uhuru made this determination that you cannot now go out and drink in public, easy my day parties, what you guys were doing. When he said no, remember he had given us 21 days to prove that we can behave. Na tuka mess. All these guys who are posting #save our restaurants, you guys had 21 days to toe the line. Muka mess. Now you want us to come and sign a petition? No. DJ Piera is still playing at Kempinski on Sunday. She's playing at a restaurant. Yeah, Jack, #.
Listen, Kamene. Listen, Kamene, and listen very well. Save our restaurant. Kwanza leta mkono to sign petition kwanza. Well, this is the link to the petition. Let me sign it. Do you know what these people mean? All right? Kamene, and let me bring it close home. Let's bring it close home. Juzi mimi na wewe tukasema, let's go say Emara and just chill. Tukule, tutoke.
Yeah.
Unajua tukuenda?
Hatukuenda.
Tulisema tukishakula Do you know most people go to restaurants, even the restaurants, when there's even much more chilling to do. You understand? There's a bit of music playing in the background kidogo, ka DJ tu ako pale, anaguza tu ka mood pale juu ya rooftop pale, unacheki mnakula hata hiyo.
That's not a restaurant.
It's a what?
You need lounge, bro. Restaurant ni a dish.
Na dish ukam na ma drinks pia.
You know the hashtag.
Drink.
Vile mimi naona. The hashtag represents a certain situation. So it's meaning sometimes you don't have to be in a direct industry to say that it's suffering. Sometimes you can be like, listen, save our restaurants, save our artists, save our DJs. I can say save our DJs and I'm not a DJ. But I know what it means when I'm saying, listen, as much as we know there's COVID and we are focusing so much on COVID, there's another cancer that's coming up and growing. And it might end up being worse than we think, the COVID. So that hashtag, I think, represents a mind frame of listen, it's not even, okay, yes, I'm also getting affected, but the restaurants are getting affected. The clubs are getting affected. The, jobs are getting affected. So I think, even if you listen to the letter you just read, he's just saying, listen, yes, there's a health issue. And I can imagine the president, let's be honest, Akiwa hapo amekaa hapo, he has like 7 minds talking different things. There's the guy of health telling him, man, they shut down the whole country. Whole country, not even anything to happen because people are dying, because that's what he deals with every day.
Anasema shut it down.
And his mind is so focused on health. There's the economist saying, acha mchezo. You imagine that boardroom. Wacha mchezo Buddha. Because he's not dealing with the health part.
Yeah.
He's dealing with money and he can see what's going on.
Yeah.
There's someone else there who's there, religious, someone who's just saying, tuombe tu itakuwa tu sawa, bona fungua church tu tuombe itakuwa sawa. Because that is his mind frame.
Of course.
You get?
Yeah.
So everyone has a perspective. And it's true, the president has to listen to all of them and make a decision. My feeling is that Save the Restaurant hashtag represents people saying, listen, yes, there's COVID, but there's a lot of other things. So we have to consider both. So yeah, it's like a voice to say, listen, kuna party ingine hapa, tuna dismiss.
Hii hashtag ilikuwa inataka kukua hashtag save our sherehe, hashtag save our clubs. Mimi nilikuwa White Sands over the weekend. Let me tell you, they have one restaurant that's operating and it was full every single time I was there. So no restaurant is suffering. Let's just be honest.
So what is the honesty?
Honestly, mseme tu save our sherehe. Sisi tunataka kuduna, tumesema sasa tutaduna, Mungu akae na sisi. Don't draw in a fully respectable industry into a conversation, debate and petition that has little or nothing to do with them. They've told the line. That's why they can still operate. Restaurants are still open. Nyiwa say, mulipatiwa opportunity, mka mess. Don't bring in these guys.
Maze restaurants zinabo saizi. Restaurants zinabo kwa sababu imagine unakula tuseme nyama hapo umenyamaza tu na nyama na mbuzi. Can you imagine? Exclusive inafaa kwe anapiga tu ka sing my song hapo ngoma nameless pole pole. Anasema nyama inateremka fiti. So saizi watu hata wakuli kwa ma restaurant.
You guys want to live
mtu anaenda home.
You want to live a normal life in a very extraordinary circumstance. Let me tell you, necessity is the mother of all invention. If indeed something needed saving, I'm sure you guys would all be able to put your heads together and figure out a way out of it. Don't try and redeem the mess you've already made.
Corona is it sasa
imefika mpaka sasa sisi ndio
tulileta corona surely.
Really, that's why you're going in this?
No, but seriously, at your mess we've made.
You people are not who made the mess.
Warn me about this.
Did you warn?
You did even warn me about this.
Sasa sisi na nameless na corona tunaingiliana.
Nyinyi ndio muli-mess. Mungebaki tu mkichapa live zenu mkiimba kwenye mtandao.
Ngoja.
Kwa mtandao?
Kwanza
wewe kupiga show mbele ya kamera.
So ngoja
kwa. Kupiga show mbele ya kamera.
Wala no.
Ni pressure.
What? Stress keeps you alive and young.
Pressure maisha manze. Alafu uko na free women. Umeanza kuziona?
From afar.
Unaona hizo tu
from afar.
Tu nini tu white.
Ndevu zimeanza kukuka. White.
Unajua why it's important to have that. Ndio mtu asikumiss. Unaonesha kuna ka wisdom hapo. Unajua?
Ndio maana Jalas hana for nothing. Zako ziko wapi? Where are your whites, bro? Don't worry, you'll be fine. So you have a brand new song that's out, but one of the things I always wonder with you is you've actually managed somehow to remain consistent, relevant, productive 20 years plus into the industry. Now, we've seen very many one-hit wonders. We've seen guys come in, set fire, and then chomoka. There are people who started off in music and lost quite a bit and just gave up. What has kept you here for 20 years? What's that secret something that no one knows about?
A secret that no one knows about. Trade secret. Unataka tuseme tu trade secret hapa?
Itabidi.
Okay, kuna vile unamkanga 3 in the morning na simama hivi.
We.
Siku.
Shindwe.
Anyway, no. I think for me, I decided to, as I said earlier, just focus on looking at myself, because sometimes the pressure comes out outside. You're like, oh, guys are doing this. Should I do this? Should I do that? May I just have like some principles in terms of how I write my music. The target I try to keep it simple, very simple. I always remember, funny enough, in architecture, first year, my lecturer was telling me, less is more.
Less is more.
Less is more.
And that's what's worked for you.
Less is more, right. It's less is more. Because sometimes I always remember the time I was trying to present for them a presentation, and I'd worked so much because I was good in like sketching and drawing.
Yeah.
So I came and put so much work to floss for them, like fanya kazi mob. But they told me, "Brah, you've put so much work, we can't even admire any piece."
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
Yeah.
So they told me, put a lot of the work down, pick your best, and place it and give it its space. So that now we can see that, yes, you worked, but what you present is the best of the work you did. So that now people can remember it and it can stick in their memory. You get what I mean?
I hear you.
So for me, I realize sometimes, like, I record a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't release everything.
Not everything has to come out.
Not everything has to come out. That's just the process. But what I present is just less is more. So that's one thing that for me I think and also try to compete with my own journey. Not with other people, just with my own journey. I'm like, okay, where am I right now? What do I want to do? So that's how as I told you earlier, try to reduce the pressure from outside. Yeah. Because I'm like, release again. You're just like, does it make sense? Oh, do a live right now. I'm like, why am I? What's the why? Why am I doing it? Not just because it's like you enter plane. I keep saying, I tell my team, it's like you're seeing someone taking off, right, in a plane, and it's going, and you think, okay, they're flying. You don't know where they're going. You don't know their plan. You don't know, but you just enter your plane. You start and you take off without any plan of what you're doing.
You have no destination inside.
Yeah. So when you get up there, you're like, had I failed? Where am I even going? So you start now getting lost. You know, say, let me first understand why I'm taking off, So I think for me, those are the kind of things that sometimes help me to just go on my journey at my pace. Yeah.
I like that. And I want a lot of people to listen. Less is more. That's what has hit home for me right now. I know you've got a new song, and I was listening to it in the morning. It's very important for me to start my day with music, because that will determine how the day will flow. And I listened and I was like, you know what? He's not stressing me or complicating this, Nini. I'm just honestly enjoying the music. Wow, I can tell that he actually thought it through. The production was thought through. See, alimsia aliingia tu kwa studio. Less is more. The thought process. Young people, it's something we miss out on all the time. You want to rush the process. You want to get into it, Destination in sight. Less is more.
To me, it has always been poverty.
What?
If you think of where you come from, you understand. You're like a marathon runner from Iten.
Yes.
We do not win the races just because we are good. But when you think about Iten and you sing the jackpot, you run.
Buddha, you flee from your poverty.
You are running from poverty.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You remember, where am I coming from?
That is Somabe.
No.
Run. Please run.
You see, it's so nice because
you will go back.
Yeah, it's
Please
good.
Run.
To identify your motivator.
Yeah.
That's true. What's your motivator? And everyone has different motivators. You get, So if you know because we're all different. Our journeys are all different.
Yeah.
So if you look and say, we're talking with Jalas earlier. He's saying, me, the thing that drives me is that fact that I know where I'm coming from. And every time I start lagging, because you need that strength.
Yeah.
This industry, it can be hard.
What?
Can be very hard.
It can be hard. And you have to find something within that makes you feel, okay, this will keep me going. So you have to know what is that thing what's that purpose that keeps me going even when I'm not seeing immediate results. So if you look and say, mina kumbuka pali nimetoka.
No.
So guys are actually looking at you, admiring you and saying, how do you manage to do this?
No.
Yeah. And the guy says, because I know where I'm coming from. Someone else might be like, me, I know what purpose.
Same streets I used to walk footing are the same streets that have my billboard.
Yes.
I really hope you're listening. Those are some very fundamental lessons, not from only one legend in this industry, but two. And because I appreciate your craft so much, and so that you can see the very fundamental aspects of what has kept Nameless in this game 20 years down the line, I want you to listen to his brand new song. It's called Sing My Song Nameless. Just enjoy it.
Bless.
Only 3 places where that can happen. Anyway, so there's someone who's recording with the Simu, and the cops have come and they're telling this guy, get out of the house. Get out. This is not your house.
The chick is telling you.
So the
She's
chick
done.
first realized that.
Really? Realized.
that the chick realized that he might not be able to have power enough to get this guy out of the house. So he went and brought the brothers and police. You understand? So ndio atoe huyu kijana. So this guy had moved into this chick's house.
Wow.
She was sponsoring him.
Okay, she was the sponsoress.
She was a
Sponsoress. She was a sponyo. So that is where the problem was. So I was telling Kamen and I was advising boy child. If you are dating and you realize that maybe Kamen and I are dating, God forbid. So and Kamene has more money than me.
Which is, God bless me.
You see, God bless her as he continue to bless me too. So that the disparity can remain the same for a long time. So I would still not allow Kamene myself to move into Kamene's house. As a man, there's no way you move into a woman's house. Tell that woman with everything that she belongs, if she really penders you, come into
your
the man's
bedsitter.
house. It's even in the Bible. You understand? A woman will leave. A woman will leave
Akuja sasa
her
kwa
parents and they will come and meet mwanzie hapo.
in your bedsitter.
In my bedsitter.
From my
Utoke
3
kwa-
bedroom.
Yes. But if things have hit the roof, you understand, and you do not have control of that, when you're moving into a house, at least add something. So that
add some value.
kufukuzwa inakuwa ngumu.
True.
You know, if you only have your bag and a few underwear and boxers, kufukuzwa ni rahisi sana. But if you came with at least some seats, au kaweka ka fridge pali, kufukuzwa inakaa ngumu kidogo. Aizi kuambia toa viti zako na fridge yako na kuka uende nayo.
Is saying some real stuff.
You understand?
Some real stuff. Like come with something. Even if
Yeah.
you don't have something physical. You know, unaweza kuwa umetoka place rough hauna any.
Yeah.
Ongeza value kwa hiyo. Yani ukwe una clean hiyo nyumba.
This guy.
Paka hata dema anashindwa.
Anasafisha nyumba. Yaani msee
Do
anachapa deki.
something. Let me tell you, ukijua haujakuja na kitu,
Do something.
offer services.
I like that.
No, for real.
Wash
Offer
the
services.
dishes.
Wash the dish. No, like on the real. Wash the dishes clean. Ukwe usiku una.
Ekelea.
You're working.
Ekelea,
No,
bro.
like no, there's some real that boy child has to be told.
Shika round mbili kwa bili yangu.
You can't be disabled in everything.
True.
You understand? You can't be disabled in money, hauna kitu, and you're also disabled later in Kasarani.
Kuna place lazima
At least
show some strength.
so that hata kikufukuza, she
At
knows that,
least.
you know what?
She'll debate.
That's the last warning.
But wewe na gas kuka yako,
Anakumbuka.
get out of my house.
No.
Chukua hiyo tu bana yako uende
But
nayo.
truth is, boy child is being kept.
Oh
The
yes.
reality has come and
a lot.
it has hit home.
And I want us to
There
talk
are men,
about that.
There
by
are
the
men
way.
who,
But you know, boy child.
who have just said, you know what, Kamene is doing the most.
But
Let me move into Kamene's house.
But you know what is the problem with the boy child situation?
Wait.
You don't even want to go there right now.
Put a pin in it. I want to know,
normal.
because you'll be shocked. There are a lot of women who are actually taking care of men. Between even boy child, kuna wanaume.
Yeah.
Your age mates.
Yeah, kuna noma.
Let's see what's happening.
Morning Kiss.
To survive and move on. All right. Where has boy child been pushed? Boy child's girlfriend has been taken away from him.
By
You
Jalas.
understand? No, by say Jalas.
Yeah, by
for
kina
example.
Jalas sasa.
For example.
for example.
As ponyo somewhere.
Yeah, mwenye ako na
Who's a
do.
sponsor? A
Yeah.
sponsor is someone who can take your girlfriend where you've never been, cannot be, and will never be until you yourself become a sponsor.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the girl around that he can afford at this point is not with the boy child. You understand? And this is a young man, 24, 25, 26, 27. You
Yeah.
understand? First job in Nairobi. None of any first job has ever paid anyone more than 150,000 bob.
Ever.
You get?
Yeah.
So maybe you get a good job. And that is if you are lucky that by 24, 25 after Kole, you have a job.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So you make like say 100,000 per month.
Okay.
You get
Yeah.
100,000 per month. You will not live anywhere these new girls want to be seen around. You will not go anywhere. You can't afford anything at Mawimbi. You can't be anywhere.
Yeah.
So boy child also has to look for ways to
Survive.
survive. And that's why many of them have decided, you know what? This girl who's already looking like she's made it, let me move in. As I save whatever little I have. And that is what has led to so many boy children to be kept. You understand? And there are many. Wako tu pale wameka. Girl is doing her thing. He goes out kidogo, kuhustle kidogo. Anarudi anacheza PlayStation kidogo. PlayStation kidogo. Anarudi.
It's like,
na ame move in. Na bag na jacket. Na boxer sita.
Alafu ako sawa.
Na ako sawa tu ametulia. So embarrassment like this when you are being chased away from girlfriend's house.
Apana.
Uko tu na bag yako na hata pali ya kwenda.
Apana.
Hujui.
Let me tell you.
I was just going to say, the problem is so deep. Like, it's something that even psychologists, like in the 1920s, were predicting. They're like, something is going wrong. Yeah. No, like, it will be deep by the way. Like, there's a time I realized, wow, this thing is going to take time to sort out. For the boy child, yeah? Guy child is a different issue, but boy child, the issue is this. What happens is, in their upbringing, sometimes if it's maybe a single mother, sometimes, or maybe their bringing, the boy child was not meant to grow up and take responsibilities at some point, maybe being overprotected.
Yeah.
Being made to be, it's okay, baba.
So
it's
they
okay.
weren't being raised as men.
So, yeah, so what happens is in their mind, they are not able to take responsibility. So they throw responsibility everywhere else. They say, it's this, it's something else, it's something else. They never look at it as it's me. Always excuse. So it's deeper issue. So it ends up being now when you like you can be 40, but in your mind, psychological mind, you are 8. That's how psychologists analyze it. So you can't be able to say, no, I am going to take responsibility and grow. As you said, I'm not going to move to that house. I'm going to work myself and grow into that. And it's hard because you imagine if it has started from when you're growing up.
Imagine you might have a problem with this belief that a boy child has a complex that's unique to them. Or that boy child has a struggle or requires something special in their upbringing that should make them these phenomenal characters. A lot of us come from some very, very messed up backgrounds, by the way. Kinamtu, there's no perfect family, imagine. True. I'm yet to see even one perfect family. True. So everyone has a past and a complex that you can move into the future with. True. And it's really a decision. My biggest question, especially to the two of you, as men who should be mentoring young guys or even other men in this country, what happened? At what point did it become okay? Or did men think it was okay to become desperate? To move into a position of desperation and weakness? What's missing? When did it, I think, my folks have been married maybe 32 years, all right? In the history of ever, sijaona fathe ameuliza madhe, ata Bob.
And that's where the problem
but
is.
But do you hear what he said?
That is where the problem is, where boy child is brought up with, you are the man,
yes.
You are the man, go out there and fight. So boy child, for a long time, has never had somebody to talk to. Boy child has never had somebody to advise him. Boy child unambiwaga tu wazi kwa mwanaume haina noma itakuwa poa. No, si kila time itakuwa poa. Saa zingine kumekuwa kuno and you need advice. But just because you are brought up with this
you can't look for advice.
You cannot look for advice. Unastukia vitu zimeharibika and you can't even lift yourself up.
So you have to, what he's saying, you have to survive.
You have to survive.
Because of the pressure of the society.
Wewe ni mwanaume.
So you want me here?
It is not right to kuwa wewe ni mwanaume.
In the midst of my struggle, me I'm 28. I woke up at 3 in the AM to be here to work, okay? So you want me within the midst of my hustle and my struggle to feel sorry for a guy who's very happy and okay, living in a woman's house, eating her money, living his life with her money. How many men do we know who are being taken care of by older women or just women for that matter,
Because I get you, but there's a difference. There are those who are trying to work because there's a hustle, there's a struggle. There are those who are trying to work. But I'm telling you, as he said, society gives guys so much pressure.
Pressure
they
too.
turn into survival
Pressure
mode.
too.
So
Pressure
survival
too.
mode is, I have to be like this, I have to live in a place like this, because if I live in this other place, people will consider me a failure. Yeah, like straight up. Like it's such a deep issue. that I'm like, man.
A quick question, Kamene.
Yeah.
The young girls looking at you today.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who see where you go, because most of the time you post where you are. Like I was in the Mara, you're in Diani, you're everywhere having a good meal and everything. Young girls who believe already that that's their ideal life.
Yeah.
Okay, and they want that life.
Yeah.
At this point, they cannot afford it.
Yeah.
But whatever it takes, let us afford.
Yeah.
And they will be with you in the Mara. They will be with you in Diani, knowing very well that, you know what, they cannot afford this. So you know what they always do? Meet a Jalas somewhere, nameless somewhere, and want to go that direction. This young man seeing his girlfriend in Masai Mara, seeing his girlfriend in Diani. Unajua pressure inapiga huyu kijana. Huyu boy ako 25.
So yakaingia sasa whatever it takes.
Anasema, maze mimi sasa nimeshindwa. Number one, I cannot be able to provide for the girlfriend I love.
True.
Mimi mwenyewe sijawahi ataenda hiyo Sarova. Demu yangu ako Sarova leo weekend. Next week ako hapa. So unajua pressure inaingia boy child. Number one, anajiambia tu, I cannot be able to afford charity. That's number one. So what does it take for me?
And that's where the problem comes in. And I want us to delve into it. That whatever it takes moment. We talked about it earlier on this morning, but I'm seeing a lot of people taking the wrong tangent with this whatever it takes, okay? Keep it locked. It's now 9:30. Let's see what's happening.
Kamene.
Down, relaxanga.
Wonder.
Msee ako juu.
Yeah.
Now we were talking about
A boy child.
and you said Jalas said about something called whatever it takes. Unaangalia maisha, pressure, nini, and you want to get there, and you will do it.
And you're trying, but probably, as you said, you've tried.
Apana. Let me tell you.
Tried.
For me, I use myself as an example because first of all, a lot of people have it very wrong and twisted with me. Someone would assume I came from an extremely privileged background and I had the whole world at my disposal. Actually, I had almost nothing. Everything I have today, I had to build. All right?
Yeah.
And there was a point, imagine, even me when I was growing up. Imagine now, the people who are giving me pressure growing up, when I'm looking at the kind of life that I want to live, are the Caroline Mutokos of this world. Maze, you're looking and you're like, ntanzia wapi, you know. I'm looking at people like Julie Gishuru, Maze, Catherine Kasaboli. That was the pressure I had. But there's a process that you have to trust, okay? And young people need to understand, don't rush the process. Maze mimi nilikuwa naangalia White Sands nikisema, wow, will I ever be able to afford it?
Now let me ask you, for a girl child today, at say the age of when you were 22, 23, you had people you are looking up to. Who do you want them to look up to right now? At least waseme, hey, let me wait, I'll get there.
Kwa madem.
Tell me at least 5 chicks right now. Unajua hiyo era unaweza sema Julie Gishuru, Caroline Mutoko.
5 chicks you can look up to right now.
Yeah, today.
Michelle Ntalami. If you're looking at business, if you want to live a life that's different, if you're looking at journalism and what success can do for you, look at Edith Kimani and look at the likes of Makena Njeri, you know? If you're looking about the creative sector, you want to be an actor, singer, whatnot, look at Kina Kate, the actress. Naomi Nganga, who moved from radio into TV, now she's an entrepreneur. There is no shortage of people to look up to. The problem with us young people, myself included, is you want to rush the process. All right? I never thought that I'd be able to live the sort of life that I'm living, but I said, you know what? Ntafika tu. Keep on waking. Wake up early. Get out. Do something. Utafika tu. You will take that job that will pay you peanuts, but utafika tu.
Keep growing.
Don't fast forward. Let me tell you something that comes instant. Unafaa kuishuku. And watch out. Don't put yourself in a point of desperation. Men are men. Let me tell you, as women, I don't like having to hold it down like I'm the man in this. No, even men want to be held down. You need to trust the process, boy child. Usijipatie pressure.
Vince Guru says there's no way as a man, a woman will feed you, pay your rent, and still respect you. Deep down, she's just the one.
But it's true.
Yeah, but it's a challenge, and the thing about it is, as we were saying, who can you look up to? Who can mentor you in terms of what are you hearing? What are the voices you're hearing? You see this kind of voices we are saying, listen, it's not easy, because when you just see it on social media, you don't even realize the struggle that person is probably going through.
Kabisa.
So you think, I want that, and there shouldn't be a struggle.
Yeah.
But there's always a backstory. And I think you should be more curious. Like, even for me, I'll be honest. And internet is now a teacher. If you can be able to get the right teachers, internet is a teacher. Even when I'm going through a struggle, I have to go and study a successful person and find out his story. And always it's about, there was this struggle, I almost gave up, but I kept pushing, So sometimes you need to hear those stories to make you realize, none of these things, unless it's inheritance, none of these stories, it just happened. There was a point where someone was about to give up. There was a point where someone was going through a lot of hell, and then boom, something happened. So you just have to know that thing will happen if I keep consistently learning, growing, and stuff like that. But if you don't hear those stories, and all you're seeing is the glamour, and that's all you're hearing and seeing, you'll think.
I think even the girls that you've said that these young girls should look up to, do not tell their stories more. You understand? They do not. So, like if Michelle would come up and say how our beauty line, what's
her hairline,
hairline, came up and Nini should inspire someone. But you just see Michelle living her life, doing all this, Marini, Nini, but a young girl somewhere does not know the story of Marini. You understand? And even sometimes when a girl does her thing, somebody nowadays will just want to associate it with some guy somewhere who was responsible for this. You understand? I'll easily tell you, I was having a conversation with my friend Betty. Betty is one of the people who work so hard.
Absolutely.
You understand? So hard. And what used to hurt her the most is that anytime she would create something, somebody would relate it with our past relationship. You understand? You understand? That guy's, man, I wake up, I get paid, I save, I start this, but nobody sees all this. You understand? So stories of girls coming out and now started mentoring girls and being able to stick with this guy that let's grow these things together will make men also start, you know what, if a chick has leveled up, the chick in your age bracket who should be your girlfriend has leveled up and wants you guys to build something together, you have no reason going to be kept somewhere. You understand? You have no reason.
True.
And to chicks, maybe another thing, there are two chicks crying, but they're crying differently. There's this chick who is crying that her age mate is in Dubai. You understand? That why am I not there? You understand? Not knowing the chick in Dubai might be crying for what she had to do to
get
be
to
that
Dubai.
To be in Dubai.
You get? So it's patience and the process. This microwave generation has to stop.
Hallelujah.
Where you have to think that, you know what, because Jalas got himself here, I'm a comedian. You understand? Pap, you'll come on, say, a platform like, say, Churchill Live, do your jokes for a weekend or two, and drive my car, or live where I live, or date Kamene. You understand? Then you throw yourself into depression because you come and realize that it has taken the last 22 years to be here.
Munasikia wase?
Started from set books.
It's good. I remember seeing one of your stories. In which show did you do?
Must be Engage or something. Engage.
I was watching that, and it's so inspiring to have those kind of thoughts.
Stories come out so that young men would come out and say, okay, if this is the journey, let me be patient. If that chick has gone, let it go. I'm happy being in this house of mine, my one bedroom, than being at Kamene's house and I'm not doing anything. Let my little hustle that I'm making make sense to me now, because soon it will make sense.
It will make sense.
I'm building something. It's straight up. Those are the voices that need to be heard more. Unfortunately, it is in a trend. This is
Munajijua. The hashtag is Kamene and Jalas. We're still here for you all the way till 10.